Hello, Stationeers. I want to go through the setup of the advanced furnace from Elmotrix. In my opinion, the best furnace out there because the use is very easy. The setup is a little bit complex, but I think it's doable. I will go through relative slowly. The video from Elmo itself is good and explainable, but very fast. So, what do we need and what do I have here? Pretend after the wall is my base. There's an oxygen tank. We are here on Europa. It's very cold, the oxygen there is cold. And I have an H2 tank. Where I have an ice crusher and the H2 is at ice temperature slightly under 0 Celsius. The O2 is very cold. So, prior to the start of this video, I have set up 4 tanks. We need 4 insulated tanks. They are not named yet. I will name them. I have set up some IC10 housings. You need 5 for the furnace from Elmo, and I have a 6th here where I will load some safety features because one tank has to be, or at one time the pressure has to be monitored because that can blow up if you don't do anything against it. But it's very easy to set up. And we have three memory logics. They are not set up, we will set them up. And of course for the IT10s you need a computer to program it, and don't forget the motherboard. It's an IC editor motherboard. And we need some other things. Some volume pumps, pipe analyzer. Pipes I have already in different colors. Active vent, I don't know if we need it. Passive vent we need. I have 6 IC10s. We need 1 console. We need a hash display and 2 logic switches. I have here some more, doesn't matter, we need only 2. And some walls with plastic sheets and glass, because we have to encapsulate the advanced furnace. Okay, and for the first run of the furnace to heat this tank, that will be the hot oxygen tank, we need some, where is it? Some oxides and some volatiles. There are some volatiles. We need them later. Okay, the first tank we need And I see I don't have a labeler. So get me one labeler. No battery. This tank I named tank hot oxygen. Okay, there at some later time will be an hot oxygen at 200 to 300 degrees Celsius. For that we have an IC10 that will manage it, but we have to give them a first run with a furnace. Okay, we need one volume pump, and we name it VP is short for volume pump, oxygen fill. That comes from my base oxygen tank and will fill this. The pressure will be regulated with an IC10. So we need some pipes. And we need some cables. Okay. The main power for all of the furnace comes from this transformer. Its output is 5000 watts, and that's enough for the complete setup. But you shouldn't connect much other things, because if some pumps are running, the power demand can be a little bit high. So don't connect many other things to it. Okay. The hot oxygen tanks needs to be connected because it has to be read out. We connect the computer to it, to the network. And the first IC housing. That was wrong. Okay, the first IC housing is connected with power at the top and data at the bottom. I name it Oxygen Controller. IC 10 oxygen controller. Sorry, I had to pause the video. Let's see where we were. Okay, the IC-10 oxygen controller. It's connected. We have the tank connected. We have the fill pump connected. Okay. This oxygen has to become warm, and for that we need the furnace, but not some fuel inside the furnace, but heat outside the furnace. So we will encapsulate with windows. And at the front, I put a wall outside because one display, one console and two buttons I want to put at the front. But in case I want to dismantle the front to see where the cables go, I put also a wall inside the furnace from inside. Okay, then I can dismantle this plastic sheets so I can see where the cables are going. Okay, some glass sheets, but one side, this side, I will let open. We'll close it a little bit later. And just I think it's not a good thing. We will put at the top. Yeah, sometimes the game is a little bit not cooperative. a wall at the top, no window. Okay. So what do we need more? We need 2 active vents at the top. Let's see how. Should be fine. So we have to name them. AV for active vent, furnace 1, and AV furnace 2. They will also be controlled from the oxygen controller. Okay, this will be the hot oxygen. Oh, here some. Okay, what do we need more? We need another volume pump. Which will be a safety measure. We name it volume pump hot oxygen over pressure. It will also be controlled from the IC10. So that the hot oxygen never will overpressure in some weird circumstances. Should not be happen, but safety first. And in passive vent. Oh. That's the problem. Okay, one safety measure for the hot oxygen tank. Okay, it's named properly. Yes. Oxygen. We have a fill, and we need to connect the two active vents. And we can also connect the furnace because we are here. Okay. The two active vents are connected with power and with pipes. Okay. So let's see what we have. We need one IC10 chip. Oh, give me. So we have only one IC housing connected, so here should be seen only one. There's nothing in there. It's empty. And we need the libraries from Elmotrix. And the first one is we need the oxygen controller. Where is it? There's the oxygen controller. Import, load instructions, override, yes. Confirm. And export. Now the code is in the IC housing. We turn it briefly on and off again. You saw that it's O-rings flashing because we have to set up the screws. They are not the right devices at the screws. There's nothing. Okay, the first hint is PAT hydrogen. Okay, let's see. The full name, if it's cut with a screwdriver at the screw, we can read here D0 PRT hydrogen. What's that? PA is standing for pipe analyzer, T is standing for tank. We can connect either a pipe analyzer or a tank from our hydrogen source. Okay. So we can connect here a pipe analyzer, that's our hydrogen, or you can connect your tank. You don't need to do both. We have here some place to run a cable. We will just do that. So we need a pipe analyzer. If you have your tank nearby, you can also connect your hydrogen tank. Okay. So, to find it in the network, label is it PA, pipe analyzer, hydrogen. And we have to run some cables. Don't forget to turn it on. Okay. So, let's search our advanced furnace, computer. There was it. PA hydrogen, our first device. The next device is AV active vent furnace 1 here, and the active vent furnace 2. Pipe analyzer or tank. Let's see, oxygen. Oxygen. That's the hot oxygen tank here. Tank hot oxygen. Yeah. Tank hot oxygen. And we have a volume pump or active vent to fill. Let's see. To fill the oxygen. We have VP. Where was it? Oxygen fill. And we should have. Should we? Nope, we don't have because it's not connected. Volume pump hot oxygen overpressure. Volume pump hot oxygen overpressure. Okay. You can turn it on. It should turn green. And it will begin. Will it begin? Yes, to fill oxygen. The maximal pressure of the oxygen is defined here. Pressure upper limit 35 megapascal, lower limit 1500 megapascal. You can change it, but I never did. Okay, the oxygen is filling, but the problem is it's cold. So we have to heat the oxygen. Here in Europa it's not very easy. We will see. Please don't connect any chutes to the inlet yet. Later you can, but not now. Okay, windows here in, window here in. Okay. Put that away. We need a window. And we need some ice. Volatiles. I don't have the name at hand. Some names are not equal to the in-game names, even in English. That is Water ice we don't need. Water tiles we don't need. There it is. Oxide, yes, okay, that's a name. Okay. Glass sheets we need. We do need 4. Where are the... Okay. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the mining belt, convenient. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a third one, I don't know if we need it. And volatiles. 10. For each 4. Okay, so we have 3 runs ready here. If the furnace is off, the circuit will not try to heat the oxygen via the vents. The vents are off. If you turn the furnace on, they will try to heat. But first we put in here for oxygen, gun, and 10 volatiles. We put in the glass frame, glass sheet, okay. Turn on and heat the furnace. It's blinking orange, doesn't matter at this time because there's no output. At this time we want to heat the inside of the cube with so that oxygen inside gets hot. On other planets you will have a little contamination with other gases with the oxygen. That doesn't matter really. You can later put an filtration here to filter all other contents out so that you have pure oxygen, but it's not really needed. So let's see what the temperature is. -50. That's not enough. But you see, it gets hotter because one sucks in, one pushes out, so that the heat inside will get inside the pipe. And the temperature of the furnace will go low, will go down. And you can see the filling pump is off because the pressure is enough. The pressure will go up with temperature. Doesn't matter. If it's too full, the IC will activate this pump. You can see it's locked. Yeah, cannot interact as it currently locked. It's locked from the IC, from the code. Same with this pump. You can't put more in manually. Okay, minus 16. It's going up. What's the temperature here? 700. Okay, it will make this tank hotter. Nice. Please don't connect chutes yet, because from the last chute into the furnace, there's game mechanics, there's a gap. So if there's warm atmosphere inside, the ice will melt, and you get here inside a nice combination of oxygen and hydrogen, and if it's too hot, it will combust. That's not what we want, because then there's a furnace gun, and you have some more work to do. So, a little patient is needed. -6. It's going to heat up 590 Kelvin. -273 will give you the temperature in Celsius. Or we can use the atmosphere analyzer. 300 in the furnace, but we could put a sensor inside the cube and a display outside so that we can read, but that's only really needed for the setup. If this one run is not enough to heat the furnace, to heat the oxygen, we can here at the EC housing read out how many degrees is needed to heat the oxygen. I see the program will try to heat another 147 degree. I don't think with this run it's possible. Before that, the furnace will have cooled too much down. Then we have to do another run, and that should be enough. But it's important that you don't do the next run via chutes. We will dismantle the window, the glass sheet. On Mars, I have a setup with this furnace. There was one run enough, because oxygen was not that cold. Here we have oxygen from atmosphere at -150 degree, and therefore we have to do 2 runs. That was the reason why I choose Europa to do this setup, because when I did the first time on Europa, I did shoots, and I didn't know exactly why several times this room combusted. Okay, 170. I turn off the furnace so that you can see the vents are off, because the program in the IC shuts the vents down because the furnace is off. Okay. Let's get this window. Then oxygen, oxides, and volatiles, and the window in. And turn the furnace on. You see, the vents turned on, and now the hot oxygen can be heated more. I didn't wait till it stabilizes because it's not needed. We want to heat the gas. So you need greater temperature difference so that it will do some faster. So, okay, we are here in Europa. I took the window out and the atmosphere is pure oxygen, so we have no contamination here. On Mars I had a little bit contamination, doesn't matter. You can let it in, and if it's bothering you, put a filtration at this line, at this pipes, and filter it out. Okay. I think we can slowly go on. That was the first part of the setup. What do we need next? We need a hot gas to heat the furnace. The furnace will not heat it by burning hydrogen and oxygen, but by letting hot gas inside. For the furnace it doesn't matter where the heat comes from. You don't have to burn oxide and volatiles inside. To get it hot, you can let hot gas in and it will melt the components that you want to melt, the ores. The green one will be our hot tank. Tank, hot gas. Okay. So we need our hydrogen and oxygen lines. I think we don't need that anymore. Let's see, what is it? 76 degree, 75 to heat. Okay, we will see if this second run is enough or if there's a third run needed. Okay, we need a little combustion chamber. So, and this is one critical part. We need, I have here, volume pumps. We need 3 volume pumps for this combustion chamber. Okay. So that will on the our be our ignition. VP igniter H2. Volume pump igniter O2. That will be hot O2. And VP igniter exit. Okay. We need a red pipe. No, we can use the green. The green will be hot. Please don't make the igniters longer than 2 pipes. And the second pipe here will get pipe analyzer. So that the next IC10 can see if the ignition is okay or not. So we have to cables. First I have to hydrate a little bit. The video is long, please hydrate yourself. And maybe we can eat a little bit. Yes, it's a creative world, but I have not all survival turned off. Okay, we have named them VP Igniter, VP Igniter O2, VP Igniter H2. Okay, we need another IC10. We name the housing IC10 Ignition Controller. Confirm. So, let's see. That's the code. Nothing there because we have to connect it. It's empty. Okay. IC10 ignition controller. Import. There's nothing in. Edit. And we need the ignition controller by Elmo. Override. We do have volume pump hydrogen. Volume pump oxygen. That are the pumps on the ignition. Volume pump exit. We have the pipe analyzer ignition. We have to name it. We have the pipe analyzer hydrogen, and we need the pipe analyzer from the hot oxygen. Confirm, export. Okay, this has to be named. PR igniter. Okay, then we can see if we have all of the, if we need to name some more. Oxygen fill, this is this pump. Yeah, this is the igniter, and it's not the other pump there, it's this pump. Volume pump igniter O2. Oxygen, this pump here. So, not this one. This one. We have no yellow text. Turn it on, turn it off. Now we have yellow pen. Volume pump, hydrogen. Oh, okay, hydrogen pump. This one. The next is volume pump, oxygen. Igniter, oxygen. This one, not that over there. And the exit pump. Igniter exit. So, what more? Pipe analyzer ignition. Pipe analyzer igniter, okay. Pipe analyzer or tank hydrogen. That's the pipe analyzer here. Pipe analyzer hydrogen. And the hot oxygen tank. Tank hot oxygen. The yellow text says PA, pipe analyzer or tank. You can also put a pipe analyzer here on the hot oxygen pipes and use that. But if you have a tank, why not? Then you don't need an extra. Okay. Don't turn it on yet. That's the ignition controller. Okay, all. So, where does the output goes to? So, easy. The output goes to this tank. And that's a tank hot gas. And it will go in some form to the furnace. But, oh yes, we have forgotten something. But I think it doesn't matter. So, yeah, it does matter, but let's see. We have 23 degree. I don't think that this run is enough. Turn it off. We need a third run. Or no problem. Turn off. Okay. And because we are inside here, we can finish the task what's needed here. We need the input and the output. Above is the output, underneath is the input. We have turned off the furnace, so the vents are off. So the oxygen will stay at temperature. And then we can do a third run. Two were not enough. Okay, what do we need here? We need some pipes. The only orange pipe. We need a cross. And this goes at the input. Yes? At the input. Output in a moment. What do we need more? Okay, that was the one. Because all the other pipes going there have other colors. We need 3 volume pumps. Each is a direction into the furnace. That's wrong. That's right. And I have a look where is the cable going so that I can do the power network easy. Okay, that's one. Here's another one into the furnace. And a third one into the furnace. That's what should be there. And to this one, we will label it so we can see what it's for. This one will be the volume pump furnace hot gas. This one volume pump furnace waste. It's going inside, it's the right direction. And this one is volume pump furnace coolant. Okay. So we have to wire it up. Okay. This tank is the hot gas tank. This tank is tank waste. And this will be the tank coolant. So, hot gas is green, so let's grab some green pipes. That was it for the hot. Then I have chosen black for the waste. The waste comes from the output. Here's the output of the furnace. And goes here to the pump and to the waste tank. And this waste tank can be the one which will blow up if we don't limit the pressure inside. So, okay, more is not for the waste tank. The hot gas tank will never go with the pressure above the pressure in the waste tank, and the coolant tank also. The pressure in the waste tank is yes, it's the maximum pressure in the system here. Not in the furnace. Furnace can go higher because of the pumps and has to go higher. For example, with the best alloy over 50 megapascal. But for our system here, for the tanks, the waste tank is a marker for max pressure, so we have to limit this because in the code from Elmo, and he said it in his video, that's the only tank which is not controlled in pressure from the ECs. Okay. Then waste, we do have the coolant. And we prepare for a fill of the coolant will be done. Could be slow, but we will see. One volume pump will go here inside, but I think you can also use an active end. Volume. Here are the pumps. Inside, okay. And some cables to wires up. We need the tank. We need that tank, and we also need this tank. It's always the last possible option. Okay, that tank has to be named. That volume pump. VP coolant fill for later use on one IC10. Furnace pumps are named. Okay. Then we can put in the back window. And we have to, what says it, minus 22 degrees Celsius. It has to heat the oxygen some more. If the oxygen has the temperature roughly 23 degrees Celsius more. Yes. So nearly 150 degrees Celsius, and it will be mixed with a cold hydrogen. It will itself combust inside this pipe. The pipe will not burst because the volume is not enough, but it will be over 2000 degrees Celsius, and then it will be, is this on? On. And then it will be pumped out into the hot gas tank. So, I think, no, tank base is empty, yes. The furnace itself has a pump. We will pump out the gas, what's inside, so that the waste tank will have some pressure in it. and that's important. The code inside the IC10s will not work fine, although they don't like zeros. Yes, no zeros inside the tanks. Put something in, and that will be the only tank that can be empty is the green one, the hot gas, because it will be filled. But we have to put something in the waste tank so that the pressure goes up, and so that in the hot gas tank the pressure will go up. It will go up to the same value as in the waste tank. If there's nothing in, that cannot go up. So no zero values, please. Okay, let's heat the hot oxygen so that we will be ready. We need a window to close it up. Put in 4 and 10 and close it up. And turn on. That should be 0 and that should be 0. And we pumped all out because it was not 0. What do we have? 6% O2 and 17%. Okay, then press the button. Yes. Some temperature inside. And with this temperature, and the furnace is on. Very good. Okay. In the meantime, we can set up the next IC10. And the video is long. Please hydrate yourself. Don't forget it. It's important. Okay. The next EC. The next IC10. Let me have a look. We have the oxygen controller, the ignition controller. We can use the furnace controller, as we have to set up the furnace. So let's name it. IC10 furnace controller. And we need a code for it. First we have to connect it. Okay. Furnace controller. Import, it's empty. Edit, library, and we need the furnace controller from Elmotrix. Advanced furnace controller. Override. Volume pump waste, volume pump coolant, volume pump heat, tank waste, pipe analyzer or tank für waste tank. We use the tank. And we need some logic memory chips for temp and pressure. Confirm, export. Okay. So we can connect the logic memories. First we will name them. Logic memory temperature. Logic memory pressure. Okay. Here it is important that the value is not 0. I set it to 1 megapascal, 1000 kilopascal, and 1000 Kelvin. 1000 Kelvin. And we have to connect it up. Okay, now the memory should be turn it briefly on and off again, and we should see the memory LM temperature and here LM pressure. Okay, they're in the network, very good. Then we need volume pump, furnace, waste. There it is. Volume pump, furnace, coolant. And volume pump, furnace, hot gas, heat. And the waste tank. Tank. Where is it? Okay, it's not yet on the network, so I will set it to no device because it's safer. Why is it not in the network? There is a problem. Yes. Okay, we'll connect it. Okay. Tank waste. Okay, that's the right one. We have an ignition controller. We have a furnace controller. Very good. So what? Okay, here we can see at the housing we are 37 degree above ignition point. 186 degree and it's barely heating more. Maybe it's too cold, but at this point, yes, it's too cold. At this point it doesn't matter. So we will let the waste gas into the waste tank. I hope they are going into the waste tank. Okay, the pumps are off. Okay. I did turn it off, the furnace, because I didn't know exactly if the pumps were on or off. If they were on, they would pump the gas inside again. And if I want to open a window here, I have to turn off the vents, and to turn off the vents, as said before, you turn off the furnace. There are not only the vents turning off if you turn off the furnace, I think, but don't know, some other things may turn off too. Okay. We are 2 chips missing, and we have here nothing to choose our ores, our alloys from. So I think now it's time to set up a display, one console. Yes, this one is okay. We only need one, and we need 2 buttons. One button here, and one button. Please, it should be button and not a switch. Yes, no lever, no switch, the button. Yeah, put it away, we don't need them. And we have to do some cables. Here's a red one running up, that's very nice. 1, 2, 3, and connect them. It's always the last option. Okay. Okay. Power there. Inside this console goes a hash display. And we need some glass. Where's my glass? There. Glass sheets. And somewhere should be a data cartridge. There's a data cartridge. Put it in. We will set it up in a moment. So we need more IC10. 2. 2 for the Elmo furnace and 1 for safety measure. So we need an IC10. And we need some cables. No, there are too many. One by one. Okay, doesn't matter really. Okay, and we have to name it. This one, we have to name it. Naming. This one will be IC10 utility. And this one, where is it? IC10. Not named correctly. IC10 utility. The game sometimes. There it is. IC10 utility import should be empty. Edit. And there's a library utility from Elmo. Alright. At device 0, there goes the EC furnace controller. Okay. Volume pump heat fill. And this volume pump heat fill is the output, the exit pump of the ignition controller. From this description, the first time I set up the furnace, I was confused and set the wrong volume pump, and it functions somewhat, but not as it really should. Okay, volume pump coolant fill. Yes, that will fill the coolant tank from atmosphere. Then we have the tank waste, the tank coolant, and the tank heat. Okay, confirm and export. Okay, coolant fill is this pump or active vent. Oh, we need a passive vent here. Hey, jump. Oh, not so much. Passive vent is there. Okay, and set it. It will be controlled from the IC, but I let it fill. We need some pressure here. In the meantime, we can set up the IC10. Don't need you anymore. So, turn on briefly, turn off, so that we get the hint. We need the IC furnace control. We need the IC10, the name of the housing from the furnace controller. I named it IC10 furnace controller, so why? Yes, okay. We programmed the utility. I named it. Yes, it's right. Why can no device? Okay, that means it's a button. Here are the data connectors, and I think we are missing a cable because we have power, but we have no data. There was a problem. Let's see. Okay. So IC10 furnace controller. Furnace controller, there is it. Volume pump, heat fill. That is this pump. VP igniter exit. VP igniter exit. That was the one where I, the first time I set up the furnace from Elmotrix, I got confused with. Volume pump coolant. Let's see the full text. Coolant fill. Okay, that's this pump. VP coolant fill. Okay. tropical infill. Then we have the tank waste. Where are the tanks? There. Tank waste, tank coolant. Tank coolant and tank hot gas. Tank hot gas. Okay. That's the utility itself. And the last one for that are this button and the display. That's the library. So we name IC10 library. Okay. IC10 library. Import. It's empty. Edit and furnace library v3 from Elmo is the right one. Overwrite. The furnace goes to D0. The buttons we have to name. There's a logic memory order, that's the third logic memory, and the two logic memories for temperature and pressure, which we have already. Export. Okay, briefly turn it on and off again. So, first screw is the advanced furnace. Then we have the buttons, we have to name them. Button next. Button previous. The hash display will get its value from the library housing. We will see there will be a value of a hash display of a hash on the housing, and we can read it from, or we can display it here. Let's see. Okay. Put it away. So B like button button next, button previous, LM order. Okay. Name it. That's the last one. LM order. And we have to connect it. Okay. Here. Logic memory, LM order, then LM temperature, and LM pressure. Okay, so green. ECs are green. Here's doing something. Very nice. Let's see. 2230 degrees Celsius and pressure going up. That's this tank. Oh, we have to set up. We will not read the advanced furnace. Filter devices, I see 10. And we have the utility. Okay, take take out the card. Nothing. That's a hash. Not the utility. That's not right. The library. Okay. This. Okay, Astrolor. Astrolor is not good. Is it going to pressure? Okay. So, we can take a look here at the logic memory pressure. This value is set from the library IC, and the temperature is also set from the library IC. If you choose here another value, don't press too fast, it will not work. Solder, I think. Okay, let's have a look. Solder 19, okay, it's going down, and 500 Celsius. It's going down. Because the solder doesn't need that much pressure. And we have 500 Kelvin. The LM order I set up, but I don't need it really. Please take a look at the video and at the description from Elmotrix to know exactly for what you can use it. Okay, let's have a look at our tanks. 226 Celsius and 6 megapascals of O2. That's warm enough. If you mix it with this cold H2, you will get ignition. And this complete ignition is controlled from the ignition controller, so that uh, this pipe never will burst. We can see the next cycle in a few seconds. You will see the pressure will go up, I think, to 30 megapascals. If it does the next ignition. Yes, you saw it. Nearly 30 megapascals, and so that works. Very good. Let's have a look here. We have 3.36 megapascal with 2200 degrees Celsius. Our waste tank had 3.75. Yes. If the waste tank stays at 3.75, this tank will never go higher. And this tank also not go higher. Yeah? This is our our important tank. The more you smelt inside the furnace, the higher will go the pressure of this of the tank. And that's not what I want till it bursts. So we have to do some safety measurement. You can port very easily a back pressure regulator to this line, but last time I did it, that was not high enough for my taste. The pressure you could put in, and also the pressure regulator is not the fastest. So don't need. And again, the video is long. Please hydrate yourself. Don't forget it. Okay, back pressure regulator is possible. Let's see if we can get one. No, that's not right. Okay, there we got a bunch. Let's see. I like my pressure 30 to 40 megapascals inside this tank, so that the hot gas and the cooling also get to 40 or 30 to 40 megapascals, because the higher the pressure in these three tanks, the faster the furnace will go to the target values of temperature and pressure. If you have a high pressure there, the furnace takes maybe a few seconds to get to target. So let's see what we can put here. 35,000, so 35 megapascals. Now it limits at 20.265 megapascals. So for my taste not high enough, but you can go with it. It's a good pressure. The furnace will work with it. So we can do that. And where to run our pipe. Yes, it will look ugly, but we can do that. Grab some pipes, and we need passive vent. With this passive vent, because the pressure can be high, 20, 30, 40 megapascals, you should run it away from your base. That's important. There are the pipes. No, passive vent. Okay, you see, we didn't smelt any other or anything at all. The pressure is from the heating of the hot oxygen. We have 3.75 megapascal. This tank is filling, and the hot tank stays at 3.75 megapascal, the same as the waste tank. So this is controlled, will never go higher than this. And the coolant tank is also controlled and will never go higher than this. And now we have a back pressure regulator, and it will open at slightly over 20 megapascal. So this tank will never go over 20 megapascal. Only if the pressure is high and you are melting many things and the pressure regulator can't cope with this. Oh, maybe we should hook it up. Would be much better. Okay, and turn it on. That's the pressure. We need a back pressure regulator. That was clearly my fault. You have seen it already. And I'm screaming at your screen. That's not a back pressure regulator. Okay, now it's a back pressure regulator. And we set the pressure. Let's try 35,000. No, 20 megapascal max. Okay, turn it on. Okay, it's filling. So, then let's see what we can do. Let's do some copper. And I don't have any ores.
Hunger, caution.
Yes. Copper ore. Oh, we don't need that many. So, let's eat something. Let's drink something. And we need some shoots. You can put the shoots through the glass. That's okay. You don't need to take it out. And what I like to do for the input is from the sticker. There's an unloader. Yeah, it's ugly, but functional. We need some cables. And it needs some power, but I think the unloader is neat because you don't have to throw things into it. And for the output side, chute outlet, is that what I'm using? Okay, now let's see if the furnace can do anything. 100 copper, put it in. Let's see. Oh, yes. Copper ore in, copper ingot out, and you see the lever is already pulled. Nice. Copper. Okay, let's see what we have. Ingots. Easy one. Electrum. We need gold and silver. Gold. Silver ore. And I think 50 each. Yeah. 550 each should be enough. So let's see, where's Electrum? Steel, solder, invar, Electrum, okay. This 50 can go in. And another 50. There's Electrum. Nice. 100 Electrum. So, last want to show you Wasperloy. Wasperloy needs 50 megapascal. Let's see what's the pressure of the tanks. Because it will do it, but it can take a long time. 6 megapascal, 5 megapascal. Yeah, that one is going slow. Maybe we need some more passive vents. I have them here. And pipes I have. So, best is to take it from different cubes. This vent will, yes, this vent will take from the cube down there. We have the cube not occupied. And that one, okay. Maybe it can go a little bit faster.
Power low.
Okay. Now power should go up because that are the wireless batteries, and I have to power transmitters staying. One is here, some there, and it will reach only 7.5 blocks, and the loading capacity at the edge, so at 7 blocks is far less than near them. Okay, doesn't matter. They are very convenient inside your base. Oh, okay. No more black ones. Doesn't matter. So. Okay. Let's go for Waspaloy. Waspaloy. What do we need? Silver, we have nickel and lead. Lead, nickel. Okay. We need double lead. So, 100 lead. 100 lead. Yes. Take a look here. 40 megapascal. At this time, it needs some time to get the pressure up, because the pressure is relative low in the tanks. If you have 20 megapascal or more inside the hot waste and coolant tanks, it will go much faster. So we need 50. And with the nickel. Nickel is there. Silver. 50 silver. Okay. '52 megapascal, 700 Celsius. Very nice. Okay, silver, and let's see. Yes, there comes Waspaloy. 50 grams of Waspaloy. Okay. Nice. Okay, you can see if you choose another alloy, it's rapidly changing pressure and temperature. The best furnace, I think. It's my opinion. I didn't try the others, but from what I saw in the videos, you have to wait longer, you have to do many things manually. Setup is uh, more complicated than this. Okay. So, you can see that's it set up. Very slowly. I hope I could help you. Thanks for watching.